indeed that's locked to Dragonflight by not having the War Within on this particular account. So that's how I can keep queuing for Battlegrounds, which I just did. There's my queue. And I won't get experience because, as you can see at the bottom, I don't have an experience bar. But what today's video is about is what I call casual players versus, oh God, what did I do? Casual players versus try-hard nerd players. So you basically have like two segments of the WoW community now, even though there's like 20 million people on here. And so it's probably not 50-50, but you have two segments, and you have a segment of people that are casual players that like to play the game. And so the way they play the game, I'm going to show you live how the game is supposed to be played. So the way you're supposed to play WoW is you have little action bars down here, and you have some over here, but they're harder to get to. So you can just put like all your bag stuff over there, potions and shit you don't need during a battleground. And then underneath you, you have your real action bars, the ones you're going to use to stay alive. Why can't I find any mobs right now? So what is going on? Like, I thought this is where the shit. Okay, I'm going to fucking speed this shit up. It's pissing me off. I'm trying to get to things that I can kill. That's really all I'm trying to do. And I don't know whether WoW's messed up right now. But basically, the way you kill things, what am I on, Hunter? Is you click and you drop those spells. These are insta-cast spells. The only reason I killed them so fast is because I'm kind of a twink, but not really. Insta-cast spell. How small are these things that they're taking that much damage? I don't know what happened there. And then you have casting spells like Aim Shot, which take a long time. Look how long Aim Shot is now, since hunters have been nerfed. So that's how you're supposed to play WoW. What did I get? Oh, yeah, you get all this free shit now in Dragonflight. That's a good reason to play Dragonflight. You get the satchels, and they have, like, potions, and you can get little experience boosts and stuff like that. So I'm going to go back to Veldraken. Now, that's called playing casually. That's also called clicking. So when you play the game, you click on your action bar. So one of the things you can do to speed up your gameplay and to be quote unquote better at the game is to create macros. I don't even know where to go to create them. That's equipment manager. I don't even know where macros are in this because they've changed so much shit around. But you can go build macros that tells the computer what things to press. Basically, you create the macro, which is multiple spells working together. And then it gives you one of these little icons down here. I don't know if that actually shows up on the screen. And then you take that icon and you place it here as if it was a spell, but it's just like hitting multiple spells. So it would be a face or whatever. And then you'd hit that and it would cast 3 spells in order that you need to have in order, so that basically you're fighting 3 times faster. You're playing more like a computer than a person. So that's called a macro. And, you know, a lot of people use macros, really not that big of a deal. But that's your first step in what I call automation. Automation means you're getting the computer to play the game for you. So you see, when I went to kill those things, I used my hand, my eyeball, the speed between my brain and my hand, and I clicked on different things in these action bars to get them to, for instance, drop volley, right? And since I know what volley does, I know it allows me to get double shot if there was an enemy in there, or it allows me in some cases, I think, to get whatever the one's called where you hit multiple people in with a single shot. Like if you use volley and then you use rapid fire, everyone in the volley gets affected by the rapid fire, which is a huge bonus. But my point is that my hand, my eyeballs, my brain, all of my neurons, this, you know, the whatever it's called, your brain to your hand, whatever that movement is called. I can't remember anything anymore. That process is manual. So when you automate that, when the computer knows the volley is attached to becoming an AoE spell and it casts Aim Shot, for instance, it can do all this instantly for you. So the minute you start doing things instantly, it doesn't speed up the cast on, but it does speed up things. For instance, I hit volley Then I have to drag the cursor down to aim shot, and then I have to cast it. It's exponentially faster to macro certain things together and have the computer know to drop that on your enemy, and then to know to hit this first because this increases the damage of aim shot, then hit aim shot, and then go to multi-shot, which creates another one of those AoE things, and then go back to aim shot. You could even hit true shot. This can all be programmed in one click. I mean, I don't do it, and I'm not an expert at it, so I can't tell you, like, for instance, how many things you can do underneath the macro. But the point is, the macro is the first step to automation, and that automation is how you can start speeding things up. So I call automation a hack. It's not. It's kind of like a slippery slope, whatever that's called, where you start soaking pot and then you become a meth head. So gateway. So macros are like a gateway drug to full hacking. So full hacking to me is using things that aren't intended. So macros, game allows them. They don't want you to add third-party software to them, which is what people do. So that's hacking. But there's other things that are hacking for sure. And one of those things, that's why I queued for the Battleground. I'm kind of hoping the Battleground goes off, because I'm going to try to find some of these hacking sluts that are 70 twinks, because nobody can get 70 gear anymore. So the only person that's going to win is a hacker is going to win, because everyone's 528. This one's not, because it's not a true twink. This is a 5.0, 515. Most of the gear is 515. That's the highest you can buy in the auction house right now. Matter of fact, we'll go look, because I want to go look and see, because it's not grandfathered, which means there's constantly a new supply of 515s coming in, and dumb shits don't know they're worth anything, so they sell them for 100 gold. So you just hit that and you go to 515s. See, told you, 89 gold, something worth 5 to 15,000. There you go, perfect example. Live on YouTube, you get to see me in action. Cost me 89 gold. It is a 515 cloth waist. I could list that for 5 to 15,000 gold, because even though they still drop, they're in high demand for twinks. So here, let me show you. This queue is never going to pop because no one plays 70s anymore, because they're sick of people doing this hacking bullshit and automated bullshit. So I'm searching 70 requirement only. I'm hitting all the armor, 515s at the top. And you can see how next to that 89, the lowest thing is 12,000. That should tell you something right there. But look at some of the prices. Let's go to the top of the 515s, 45,000, 45,000. Some of these, there's the same item as a foot. But I mean, these are basically 515s. There's no turrets. See the way that shows a turret right there? If I click through, it's going to be no turret. There's no turrets on the world drop greens right now. So you can see it says prismatic socket. And when you see that in this outer auction house window, it's supposed to mean that there's a turret. It doesn't really mean there's a gem slot, which is what that's showing. It means a gem slot or a turret, which is a third secondary stat. And so that's what you want when you're twinking, but they don't have them anymore. So when I click here and I go to the item, it's all gone. There's no turret, there's no gem slot. So false advertising. What it really means is this item was supposed to have the option for a turret, and it doesn't. And the truth is, when they do have gear with turrets, which these aren't, that little gem slot right there just tells you that this particular item, expeditionary helmet of anything, has the potential for one. So even with gear that has turrets and gem slots, you can click through and it can have nothing. It's like a 10% chance. But I've done this forever, so I can tell you none of these do. But what will happen is usually the name of the item, Deep Dwellers or Underscouts, tells you whether, see the way that's expeditionary? So the other expeditionary, see, do the same thing. So it's telling you all expedition. Oh, that one doesn't. See, this is how messed up it is now. So here's an expeditionary that doesn't have it. In the old days, they used to all have it. All expeditionary of this group of world drops should have had it, which means you don't even have to scroll through here and look for gem slots on the outer window. You can just put expeditionary into this and look at 515s. But you can see this one has a gem slot, and again, no tart, no gem slot. And I've looked at thousands, so I can tell you that even though they aren't all going to come up, they don't exist. You could go to 357s for a different bracket, but they have the same situation, and I'm used to which ones actually have the gem slots, so I can just put in the name, go to 357, and then they'll all show gem slots, but you have to click through to make sure they have them. It's 10%, 10 to 30%, something like that. So anyway, you can also buy 506 if they're cheap. I didn't even look here. They're not cheap. And you can go to weapons. Nope. Man, that's sad. Look how expensive the weapons are at 515. Most expensive. Well, it's still just 45,000. It's still too much. This would actually be a good item. A bow, even at 506, which is the second highest, is worth 10,000. So I could buy it and resell for 10,000. I'm not going to, but because it's 506. If it was 515, I would. But I buy these all day for like 60 gold. So this series is about players that want to play casually and like the game's designed, playing against people that are tryhards. Because the tryhards really ruin the game. Because for me, the analogy is steroids. Like, I can do the steroids so that I can get as big as you, but it really becomes a different game at that point. So if I was playing a sport and the best player did steroids, I wouldn't be able to compete if he was doing steroids. So I could do the steroids and change the game, but there would be negative consequences for me. So these tryhards don't just find these hacks and manipulate these software systems instantly. They have to do a lot of work, and they do like give them credit for their ingenuity and their perseverance, because a lot of these players are players that clickers like me have beaten, and they're mad because they have big egos, probably because of their small Johnsons. And so they research, how do I cheat, basically. And so then they put tons of energy, like maybe a year, building a character, learning the hacks, learning the cheats. And I was going to show you some of them, but right now I can go over a couple without showing you them, which just is good. But the one that annoys me the most on a hunter is called Spyglass, which is a toy that can be manipulated